Hey there, Fit Fam. Welcome to the only podcast where we're breaking the mold and rewriting the rules. I'm here to debunk the myths, spill the tea, and serve a hefty dose of reality. No matter where you're at in your journey, we've got something for everybody. So buckle up because we're about to unleash the basics in the most unapologetic way possible. From shedding pounds to embracing your inner badass, I'm here to remind you that skinny is so last season and the basics are anything but boring. So grab your favorite piece of protein and your water bottle and get ready to be empowered, entertained, and educated because being a basics bitch has never looked this good. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Don't Call Me Skinny. So I'm a little bit bummed, I'm not gonna lie. I recorded an episode on Monday and I tried to do it a little differently. I actually did it on my phone. I recorded it on this little app thing. Actually, wrong phone, but whatever. Doesn't matter. doesn't fucking. My internet is glitchy today. Okay. Doesn't matter what phone it was actually, but I tried to just use I use mini mic, my Mr. Mic. Literally he's a mini mic. And I tried to use it and I recorded it and it worked out beautifully. But then I uploaded it into my Google Drive and I kept trying to download it and it would not download at all. It would download this weird file, but it's not the audio file, not the MP4 file. So I was never able to post it. And maybe I'll save it for a different day. I'm not really sure if I can figure it out. Great. If not, I just have this random podcast sitting on my fucking phone, which is why I was always so hesitant in doing it that way. But I also felt like, man, that I don't have to be home to record a podcast. I could record a podcast from anywhere. And that would be really cool. Except if I can't download it, it's not very cool at all. So I have to figure that piece out. But we are in week 2 of Fat Loss Basics, which is awesome. Last night we had our call. Something I actually want to talk a little bit about today. So this is a Tuesday. It's recorded on a Tuesday, aired on a Wednesday. Call was on a Monday. Whatever. And I want to talk a little bit about this, but very excited about it. Also very excited to let people know, if you are local to me, I am going back to in-person training. I have a facility that I will be training out of. If you are interested in one-on-one coaching in person, live with me, so you must be local. local. Or loco, whatever you are. So there is that. So if that is something that you're interested in, you are going to have to email me or message me on Instagram or Facebook for information on that. I will not be posting a lot of it on my on here. I'll talk about a little bit, but honestly, it doesn't really pertain to the podcast itself, and it's really for local people. And honestly, I have people that listen to me all over the world, so I'm just gonna throw it out there for a hot second. But anyways, we're going to talk today about this topic that I touched on last night, and this difference. And it's really funny because I actually read an Instagram post about it this morning and people kind of got all, what's the word I'm looking for? Mean? Hang on. There we go, guys. Here we go. It's been rainy. It's been cold. Today it's supposed to be rainy and warm. Then it's going to be cold again. I'm over this weather. I just want it to either be cold or hot or just fucking decide what you want to do. I hate this time of year. The transition. Anyway, okay. And so I actually read a post about it this morning. People are getting angry about it as well. And it's just this whole do I have to track calories? Can I just mindfully eat? And what is the difference between mindful eating and tracking calories? And what do I recommend and why and all of the things? So we're going to talk about mindful eating versus calorie tracking specifically. And this is what I'm going to say. The very first thing that I'm going to say right now about mindful eating is the biggest issue that I see here, the biggest problem that we have is most of you bitches have no fucking idea what you're eating. You are not mindful about anything that you're really probably doing in general when it comes to your health. That's going to sound mean. I understand that. Okay. If you want to shut me off, shut me off. I understand. But it's the truth. The majority of you have no idea what the fuck is happening when you're eating. You cannot be mindful about something you don't understand, you're not educated on, and you have no awareness around. So, I do not think that mindful eating is a bad thing. I just don't think it is the appropriate thing when you're not mindful. What does that mean to be mindful? That's a great question. I'm so glad you asked. Let's talk about it. Mindful means we are present in our bodies. We are present when we consume food. We are making conscious decisions and choices when we eat and consume food. If you're the person that blacked out and has no idea how she got to the bottom of the Oreo bag, that's a problem. Or you don't know why you're doing what you're doing. That's a problem. You cannot mindfully eat without being mindful. Like the literal term is mindful eating. If you have no awareness about what the fuck you're doing because you live on autopilot, because you're fucking over life, and the last thing that you want to do is make a decision about food, which PS, we make like 200 to 300 plus decisions. That's like, I would say, an average a day about food alone, just about food. Now, if you are more of a hyper focused on food, constantly food noise all the time, food noise, you probably make higher end, closer to 300. I don't think about food so often anymore. I used to be on that hyper focus. I used to be on that food noise that I created on my own. That used to be me, right? Like I used to think about food all the time. When do I get to eat next? What am I going to eat? Should I eat this? Am I allowed to have that? Can I have but I already ate this today. Fuck. Bleh. Yeah. You want to know what I've eaten today? Let me tell you my plan for the day. Okay. The same fucking thing that I eat every day that I've eaten a lot of days in a row is yogurt, berries, granola with some cinnamon on top. Boom. Breakfast. I don't have to think about that shit. I don't have to be like, wow, what do I feel like? I wonder, I don't know what I feel like today. I don't feel like that. Okay. I'm just eating it. It's just there. It tastes good. It's delicious. It gives me over 35 to 40 grams of protein. I get my fiber with the berries. I typically try to have 2 different kinds of berries in there, like raspberries and blueberries or strawberries. Right now, fruit is kind of like hit or miss. It's kind of sucking right now, right? It's fine. I might have to start buying frozen fruit and then just letting it thaw in the fridge or something. I don't know. Okay. So there is all that. Okay. I don't have to think about it. Now, coming up here, I ate around an hour and 15 minutes ago. I'm going to have to make a choice about what I want for a snack. If I'm going to have a snack. You want to know what my snack has been lately? It's been 2 things. Chocolate milk. Love chocolate milk. Or literally a little bit of Cinnamon Toast Crunch in some milk. That has been my snack. And I'll eat that like 10:30-ish. So another like hour to hour and a half. Between 10 and 10:30, I'll have the snack. Cool. Lunch. Well, I have leftovers. If I didn't have leftovers, I prep chicken that needs to get eaten. So that has to, whatever. What am I have that? Man, it's so convenient that last night with dinner, we made rice and potatoes. So I can have my chicken with rice or potatoes, or I can just eat my leftovers. Excellent. Wonderful. Cool. My biggest issue consistently always has been dinner. Like, what are we having for dinner? Because you want to know what? I'm only feeding myself for breakfast and lunch. I don't have to fucking care if anybody else likes what the fuck I eat. Okay. Dinner has always been an issue. The point here that I'm making is I don't make that many fucking food decisions anymore. Do I want this? Do I want that? Now, do I have days where I make more than others? Do I have days where I'm a little more undecisive than others? Sure. But I definitely probably do not make around 200 food decisions a day anymore. I really don't. Okay. If you are not aware of what the fuck you're doing, how do you mindfully eat? I would love to know. And you're going to be like, Sarah, but I eat so clean. That's how I eat clean. You can overconsume food and eat clean. Shocker, I know. It's the truth. You can do that. Okay. So the point that I'm making is that you have to figure out first, you have to learn, you have to educate yourself. You're not educated yet to mindfully eat. And not even just with like understanding calories. And I don't necessarily think that like the full blown profile of macros is like, I think that we kind of take a little bit out of proportion, and I used to be a super rigid, like carbs, proteins, fats, blah, blah, blah. Really, it's like protein, fiber, fats, making sure we're getting enough fats. Fuck carbs. They can just kind of hang out wherever they need to hang out. As long as you feel energized, you're not having like crazy ass mood swings, solid. We're good to go. Life's okay. That's the truth. Okay. So where do we do that? Well, in order to become aware, we have to learn. We have to educate ourselves. This is where calorie tracking or macro tracking come into play. We have to know. You have to know. I could tell you pretty fucking quickly what 250 grams of potatoes looks like, raw potatoes. I can tell you pretty quickly what 250 grams of ground meat or chicken look like. Okay. I can tell you pretty close to what 150 grams of yogurt looks like. I can tell you pretty close. I could look at a food and I could pick out that profile of calories and protein pretty fucking spot on. I always talked about this. I used to do this for my husband all the time in Iraq. He would send me pictures of his food and tell me and ask me how many, what do you think about this? I give an estimate. Now, am I perfect? Am I like the best at it all? No, I'm not. But am I pretty fucking spot on? Yeah. Why do you think that is? Why do you think I can do those things now? Because I fucking tracked my food. Now, there is this balance where I've talked about in the past where it's like calorie tracking and macro tracking is obsessive and it can be considered disordered. Yes, so can your clean eating and not calorie tracking. That's a reality. Your clean eating can also be considered disordered. I only eat clean. Are we washing our shit in the dishwasher? I don't understand. Okay. It can anything that we do can be considered disordered depending on the level that you take it to and your feelings and emotions around it. Now, if I can track my calories and track my macros and understand that there's nuance in there, it's not disordered. If I can mindfully eat or eat clean and understand that there's nuance in there, I can do that without being disordered. Right? So we want to get to a place where we can mindfully eat, where we don't have to track every little morsel. The problem becomes, here's where the problem becomes, and this is where I see a big issue, even with, former clients, like where sometimes they come back to me and they're like, hey, shit, I fucking fell off the track. I fucking fell off the wagon again. It's because we go too far into the mindful eating. We completely negate the calorie tracking or the macro tracking. And again, there's no nuance. It's this or it's that. Oh, I can be mindful. I know exactly what I'm doing now. I know exactly what I'm doing. But we're all complacent because we're human. So at some point, you might just want to take a week and go, okay, this week I'm, maybe 1 week out of every 6 or 8 weeks. We're going to track our food, make sure I'm still kind of like in the game. I'm still kind of like, I got it. I'm still there. I still got this, right? I look at like my husband's old job, right? He's a canine handler. Okay. Canine handler. I need to take a sip of water here. They had to run their dogs and get certified every X amount of months. I actually forget what it is. I don't know if it was like a year or every other time that they came home or whatever it was. Every 6 months, maybe. They had to. Why? Well, they had to make sure that the dog was still good on all of the scents or the majority of the scents or was doing his job appropriately, even though my husband was working with him every fucking day. So let's fucking hope he did his job appropriately. Okay. Like one day we just don't want to wake up and do our job. All right. Like that's not reality, right? But there was a check mark for them. They had to still pass this test. They had to get certified, right? Same thing as teachers. Teachers still have to go back and recertify and go back and recertify. Nurses and doctors back and recertify. You're not special. You're not special. Just because you've learned something doesn't mean that you get to completely negate and leave and never go back to it and never check yourself. And never do whatever like that. That's one that this is. I'm going to be super transparent. It's one client that I worked with for 15 months, and I'm like, okay, if you think you're ready. She did 12 months one-on-one, and then she went into my alumni program for 3 months, and then she bounced. And I'm going to say, I'm not sure she was ready to go. That's why there's a process of what I do. It's like, yes, I can put you in a calorie deficit, but if I don't bring your calories back up to a regular maintenance level, guess what? The likelihood that you're going to pack on weight again is going to be extremely high. Now, the problem becomes is like people, it's like, I don't want to coach forever. Okay, well, I love you so much. But for you to take 2 years and do this the right way over the 25 that you have spent doing everything fucking wrong, you don't have 2 years? I mean, you just spent 25 doing it all fucked up. I spent 31 doing it all fucked up. 32. 32 years spent doing it all fucked up. I'm just hitting my 8-year mark. I don't exactly remember. 2016, I think, is when my husband got his job, October. So that would be 8 years. That's 8 years, you guys. And I still track my food at moments. Right now, I need to be tracking my food because Mission 180. Do you think I'm tracking my food as much as I should be? No, I'm not. Do I wonder why my scale weight and things aren't necessarily changing? No, I don't. I don't wonder why. Effort and result. Level of effort, level of result. They match. If I'm only giving level 4 effort, I can only expect level 4 result. Well, that's what I'm doing, right? If I want a level 10 effort, result, I have to put in a level 10 effort. And I'm 8 years into this, and I'm going to have to buckle in and track my fucking food again. Do I want to do it? Not really. Is it fun and exciting? No. Can we do things that aren't fun and exciting that we don't want to do? Yes, we can do those things. You are capable. I am capable. We are all capable. We need to get over this whole, I don't want to track my food. I don't want to. It's just so hard and it's so time consuming. Yes, well, so was learning how to tie your shoe until you fucking did it. And I guarantee that your mom was super irritated that it took you 14 years to tie one fucking shoe. But you know what? That's how you fucking learned. Exactly. Or maybe you're the mom of kids that take 14 years to tie one fucking shoe and you're like, let's go. I don't have time for this. We got to get out the door. Oh, just get over here. Let me tie your shoe. You don't learn, and neither do they. It cannot be, you cannot get out. You don't get to have one without the other. And on this post, I don't even know who the post was. I don't even. And they were like, I lost all this weight and I never tracked 1 calorie. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. I'm going to say that you're the minority. There were maybe 6 comments on there and they all claimed that they did all of this by never tracking 1 calorie. Okay. But you're still paying attention to your energy intake, number 1. And number 2, it probably means that you're the anomaly that has a decent relationship with food that can swing that. And you are capable of doing that. But ladies, that's a very small minority of us. Like, I'm talking like super small minority of us that can do that. The majority of us have no fucking idea what a serving of anything is. You don't know what a serving of cereal is. I do. You don't know what a serving of actual potatoes looks like. You don't know what a serving of meat looks like. 112 grams. Who could tell me right now, without weighing it, what 112 grams of steak looks like? What 100 gram 12s of chicken look like? What 112 grams of potatoes looks like? What 112 grams look of pasta? I have spent years and years and years playing this game, and that's what I do. I make a fucking game out of it. How good am I? How good am I? I'm going to weigh this shit. I'm going to see how close I can get to that serving number. I make a fucking game out of it. It doesn't have to be, track your calories. You can't eat anymore. It doesn't have to be this huge, negative, terrible, awful, no good thing. It can be fun if you want it to be, if you let it, if you make it. Like, do you ever have that teacher that made the most awful, worst, boring fucking thing at school not terrible? That's what we got to do. That's what we got to do. Because we cannot keep saying that I'm just going to mindfully eat. I'm just going to pay attention to what I eat. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I love you so deeply to tell you the truth of you don't understand mindful eating because you're not mindful. You're not mindful. You have no idea. If you have no idea how to regulate yourself, if you eat and you don't realize you're eating, if you're eating because this came up as a reflection of what I talked about. Somebody posted in the group coaching group today about the fact they're like, yeah, did you ever hear literally like children are starving in Africa, eat everything on your plate, right? And then you had to be part of the Clean Plate Club, right? The CPC, you had to be part of all of it. Like that was like your flex. That was like your badge of honor. Okay, number one, people are starving everywhere. Not just Africa, but that's what we were told as kids. Clearly nobody's starving in the United States. Isn't that untrue? Okay, but that's what we were told, right? And I made it super clear about how this is me. I was the person. This was me. There was nothing mindful about me. Okay, I was a person where I literally told my group last night, I said, there was no snack smiling back because they were in my fucking belly because I ate them all. I ate every one. I ate every one of those little bitches. Nobody was smiling back at me. The snack was not smiling back because they were in my belly. I was mindful about that. I was very mindful about them being in my belly. No ability to stop eating them. No ability to say no, I'm full. No hunger. Oh, this is another thing. If you don't fucking have hunger cues, I love you so much. If you're the bitch that doesn't eat until noon because I'm just not hungry in the morning, you cannot mindfully eat. You are out. You are out if you cannot fucking know your hunger cues. If you don't eat breakfast, you're out. You're not mindful eating shit. Because you're way out. Like you're so out of touch with your body. Can't happen. Not even close. And it's wild that this is what we think is the key. So is there one better than the other? No. Do they both have a place? Yes. They absolutely both have a place. Especially if you are a person that is like, okay, I'm tracking all my food. Excuse me, I'm tracking every little macro. Hey, okay, well, like when you go out on your dinner date with your husband, you don't have to track that. Like we can get away with one untracked meal. That is okay, right? And this is where that nuance comes in. Now, if you're the person that's like, oh my God, if I don't track it, I get, and I panic and I gotta just track all the food that I eat. Well, that's probably a little bit more obsessive. It's okay to not track that one meal. Or even a day. If your day, you're going to the pumpkin patch, you're going out for dinner afterwards, you're going on a date night, you got a wedding for the day. I mean, if you want to track your breakfast and lunch, cool, great. You don't have to. I mean, I eat pretty much the same fucking thing every day. So it's nothing for me to track it. It doesn't mean a whole lot. But like on date night, I don't track my food. And we have to get to this place where we can utilize these tools as they are needed and necessary, and then move into the other piece as it's necessary. Okay, I've been tracking a long time. I'm going to take 3 days off and see what happens. Oh, I'm going to take the weekend off and see what happens. Oh, excellent. I'm still going to be mindful. I'm still going to pay attention. And those that have tracked their food typically are mindful because they are so accustomed to eating very, I don't want to say rigid or regimented, but like it's very, you just pay different attention. I don't know how to explain it. You just pay a little bit different attention to what you're consuming. So it's like, I'm always, even if I'm not tracking my food, I'm always paying attention to my protein. Always paying attention to my protein. Never not paying attention to my protein. And if for some reason it's like, man, I did not eat enough protein today. Likelihood for myself, where I'm at in my journey, I already knew that it was going to be a low protein day. I do try to protein load the front end of my day if I think that my evening is going to be a little bit less, but life, life. So we have to live in this duality. I always talk about living in duality. We can do things that we don't want to do and do them anyway. And we don't have to like it, but we have to do it, right? That's duality. We can live in a world where we're calorie tracking and we start to learn how to mindfully eat. If you're just beginning, I would highly recommend that you start with calories and or just start tracking your fucking protein and fiber. Call it a day. Protein and fiber are going to be the main drivers of everything. So if you're protein, you're going to feel full. If you got fiber, you're going to feel full. And outside of that, then you're good. You're golden. You're rock solid. Right? And then you do that for a while, for like a long while, for like 3 months, maybe 6 months. And then you start taking, let's see, I want to take a weekend off. Okay, I'm going to take this weekend off and see what happens. Cool. Can you mindfully eat? It's like, what? Nope. Back to calorie tracking. Whoa, that did not go well at all. I did not pay any fucking attention at all. Oh, okay. Now we just learned something about ourselves. That was something else I talked about. Like we're learning things about ourselves. We're connecting dots that we didn't know existed before. You cannot mindfully eat and not be mindful. It's just impossible. You cannot mindfully eat and not be aware. And the majority of the people that have me in their ears right now, on their speakers, in their earbuds, you are not aware. That is like issue number 1. I always say awareness leads to action. Awareness is going to be the key driver for everybody. And you got to get there first before we can add in all this extra bullshit. All this mindful eating and clean eating and oh my gosh. Like I said, anything's obsessive that you make obsessive. So that's what I got today, guys. I hope you have a great Wednesday. I thoroughly enjoyed this podcast today. This is what I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to throw out a little digi course that I'm working on. There's a small mini course that I'm working on, and it's going to be digital, and it's going to be completely yours. It's going to be an at your own pace course that I'm working on. It's a lot to do with what I'm talking about today, and it's called Eat Food Without Fear. And I'm very excited about it. And I already have the second course plotting in my brain, because from one course is going to stem another course and then another course. And you're going to be able to learn about all these little micro topics. And what I love about them is that they are going to be little bite-sized chunks. So far, I've recorded 9 videos for this. And I think one was 2 minutes long. So very easy to move through. And I think the longest one so far has been about 14 minutes. And I'm not trying to make them much longer than that. I want them to be bite-sized little chunks that you can kind of ingest and then process and then go to the next and ingest and process. But I'm really excited about this. This is one of the things, one of the 2, minus the going back in person. One of the things that I've been really excited about this week. And you can tell I'm excited about it because I'm literally hammering it out. I'm just like, I'm moving right through it. I'm just like, let's go. So that being said, I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. I will catch you on the flip side and on the next episode. Thanks so much for listening today. If you laughed, learned, or just felt a vibe, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Your support keeps this ass train chugging along. If you're ready to embrace the basics with a twist, follow me on social media. Links are in the show notes, and let's see the ways we can work together. All right, basics bitches, you're not just listeners, you're part of the revolution. Remember, skinny's out, basics are in, and you're looking damn good doing it. So until next time, stay basic.